Hey YouTube, it's Raid. I just figured I'd upload my Sky Striker deck list because of course we needed another one of these. Um, this was a little different as you can see. This is focusing on going first and that we're completely dedicated to that concept. We'll just run through the deck list and I'll run through my explanation of why I'm playing cards. We're playing 3 Veiler. I think Veiler's a really good hand trap right now, and this also goes through the access code line. Maxi is Maxi, just never bad to draw, obviously. We're playing 3 Ash. We're playing this because it beats Maxi. Sword Soul's super popular right now, and I think Ash sucks against a lot of their hands. Usually doesn't do nearly as much as you'd like it to. I mean, well, if they hard draw Moye. If they have the search spell, negating that with Ash is pretty good. But like, that's the main Ash target, and there's a ton of Sword Soul and Diamond. Obviously we're playing the DPE package. We love DPE's insane. We're playing 3 the Ray, 3 Rose, because our goal is to open a way to make DPE and be able to also make Shizuku on turn 1. That's the dream. You can't always do it. I would prioritize DPE over being on Striker, though, just as a general rule, by the way. We play Rhoda, another copy of Ray. We play 2 Engage. That's more copies of Ray. Or also, Hornet Drones makes DPE, depending on what you need to do. 1 Afterburners, 1 Jamming Waves. You can almost certainly cut Jamming Waves, but I like it. It helps when you go up against Eldritch and gives you a little bit more grind game in that matchup in particular, which is an annoying matchup. You should be able to win it most of the time, as long as you don't draw really poorly, but it doesn't stop it from being really annoying to fight. There's the 2 Fusion Destiny. We're playing Pot of Prosperity. This does lock you out of drawing for the turn, but it helps make the deck more consistent. And Pot of Prosperity, we're using to search for Fusion Destiny, or Ray in particular, depending on which one we're missing in our opening hand. So you always banish 6. I'll talk about, well, you don't always banish 6, but if you don't have everything, or if you, and if you only have 1 in hand, you banish 6 because you can get away with it. We run 1 Area 0. This is because it's fine. We're not running Terraforming because we're not desperate to get 3 Engrave. Because Prosperity locks you out of drawing when you activate Prosperity for turn. So usually we're looking to turn 3 engage rather than turn 1 engage. So we're not playing like draw spells or anything like that. We're playing multi-roll. Once you're in an equalized position, you search for this, you get all your cards back from grave, you win the game. This is just like once you're in a powerful position, multi-roll lets you like start steamrolling your opponent. 2 Called by the Grave for aiming to go first. This hits Strand Traps. It also can be set as Interruption. Hornet Drones. This is just another copy of Fusion Destiny, but a copy of Fusion Destiny that bins some Sky Striker monsters from your extra deck, which is still good enough. Widow Anchor, target negation, great. Shark Cannon, DPE out. Crossout Designator, going first, stops hand traps. I actually was playing a different lineup for a little bit, but I actually prefer Crossout in the going first version that we're playing to here. We're playing 1 Droplet. This is literally just a Crossout target. I don't love Droplet, but it had been Nibiru previously, and I hated drawing Nibiru. Nibiru was very rarely useful in hand, and it kept making it so I couldn't get my Celestial draws. So this is Droplet. I think this would be better as a second Infinite Impermanence, but I only own 1, and that is a UR, so yeah. It's probably better to take out Jamming Waves for a 3rd Impermanence, and better to take out Droplet for like these 2 cards for 2 more Infinite Impermanences is probably better for the deck. Anyways, our extra deck is DPE. Fantastic card, best Sky Striker card, of course. We have Kagari, of course, recycle, engage. There are some times where you need to recycle Shark Cannon, depending on the matchup. If you play against decks where you want to banish a lot, it can be worth it, where you could remove Jamming Waves for like another Shark Cannon instead. Shizuku, this is part of your Dream In board, which your Dream In board is, of course, DPE, Shizuku, Pass. We're running 3 Hayate. This is mainly as a banished target, and there's not really anything else I want to be playing. You could hypothetically cut a Hayate for some random link you want, but you'll probably be banishing it off of Prosperity anyways. We run a Kaina. This literally never came up, but also sometimes it does come up, and is a Sky Striker name. And because you're Prospeing and you'll end up banishing names, sometimes you just need another name to be able to get back into Shizuku or something. We're playing the Hulk Celine access code line. This is fine. If you don't have it, I wouldn't make it for this version of the deck. I only used this once against an Eldritch player in a game that went really long, but we didn't Prospe that game. I will say, if you're going out, if you know the matchup you're playing against is a really long one, don't Prospe, because you need your whole extra deck in really long grind games. And by that, I mean, like, exactly Eldritch. Nightmare Phoenix, this is literally just an out to IO, and that's why we're running it. But usually you don't care. If you're going first and you make DPE, easy banish. Also, I usually banish the Hulk access code line. We have Nightmare Phoenix. We have Anaconda. This just makes DPE, and we run 1 Zeke. This comes up randomly. But because we're talking about the extra deck, Pot of Prosperity, usually you'll banish. So if you have Ray, or if you have Fusion Destiny, I'd banish 3, honestly, so that the other ones are more likely to be live later. But if you have Ray, you want to banish 6, because Fusion Destiny is insane. And then when you're banishing 6, you're looking for Hornet Drones, or you're looking for Fusion Destiny, because you just want to make DPE. Alternatively, you can find Rose and Special Rose, and then make Anaconda that way. For the drones line, it's obviously you just activate drones, Kagari to drones back, normal summon your Ray, you're gonna make Anaconda, make Shizuku, activate Anaconda effect. Depending on what your hand is, so if you have like Widow Anchors, you need to like clear your zones and manage them properly. But I leave it to the viewer to know how to do that. Anyways, when you're banishing 3 though, off of Prospe, I can't remember if I already said this, we're banishing 3 is Hulk Celine access code. And when you're banishing 6, it's Hulk Celine access code. Nightmare Phoenix is 4. Hayate is 5. And then if for some reason you're going for 6, because maybe you really want Maxi or something, I don't know what you'd be banishing 6 when you have access to DPE, but you can do it. It's still good to be on Striker access anyways. But usually if you have 6, the 6th one could be Anaconda if you're digging deep for something specific, and you already have DPE access. Then looking for a Ray or Rose is perfectly fine. And obviously Anaconda is a good banish there. But alternatively, I'd usually banish Kaina, because it just doesn't come up. That's a deck. I suspect going second is probably stronger, but I'd want to run 3 Lightning Storm and 3 Infip, and I feel like that's less negotiable than what I have here. But I actually really like this deck list, and it performed pretty well overall, and this is obviously what I hit Diamond 1 with this season. If you're wondering about, like, Avarice, since we're, like, banishing our cards, firstly, it's another card that conflicts with Prospe for drawing. I don't actually care about that much. More importantly, you just don't need Avarice. The only reason I'd say it is because you're running in the mirror match exactly. It's kind of like Harpies in the mirror match, where it's just like a big blowout card that's super good. And honestly, instead of running Avarice, I'd rather run I cannot think Hercules base. If you want more of a grind game, I'd rather run Hercules base over Avarice, because you can search this card and you cannot search Avarice. And it does the same thing of putting Kagari back in deck. It doesn't draw you two, so it's not as good in that sense. But also, it can draw you two if you equip it to something. But that's less likely, because you need to be able to win combat that way. But yeah, that's the deck. I like it. I had fun. We're gonna... I already told the tweaks. If you're wondering what cards you can cut from like the extra and stuff, I'd say these cards are very cuttable. And from main deck, we cut from main deck. When you're going first, I just really like this build. You could probably cut Area 0 and Jamming Waves. I wouldn't cut Prosby because I just I think finding both is so good, and the engage draw. By the way, turn 1, you just always, even if you have 3 spells and you're under Prosby, you still want to engage just because you want to set up, like usually you'll want like a hand trap, DPE, and like a Widow Anchor is about what you're looking for, or like 2 hand traps, DPE is usually about the level of interruption you're looking for, because you just want the game to start going long. If you don't have cross out, that's like probably fine. But it just makes it a bit better and more consistent, and lets you play around Maxi while you're making Verte. Also, really funnily, you can set this stupid card, and you can use it to like negate Celestial. That didn't come up. I have negated Dasher though against a Sword Soul player using a cross out, which was very funny. And you can also, of course, negate Fusion Destiny with it, which has come up, like, many times. So even if they don't have a hand trap, I still think crossout's pretty nice. Also, like, if you maxi on their turn, and they didn't, and they, like, drew Ash, then you can just cross out their Ash, which generally makes their life really hard, obviously. But this deck, I think this is, kind of an unusual take on the deck list. I had a lot of fun with it.